Hi, babies. So today I want to talk about mindsets and just a couple different things, but mostly mindsets, and always reflecting on like what younger you or older you would have thought. Because I feel like I don't talk about old me enough. I may say things like, "Oh, I used to run law firms downtown in Chicago," but I don't think I ever gave like the background and mindset shift for myself. When I started out my career as a paralegal, I started working at this law firm. And it was very interesting to me because I was, my lack mentality it was a generational curse. And it really was something that was given to me as a really fucked up gift, as a lot of our generational curses are. Right? So, like, if your family has the mindset, you grew up in a household, because I can't say like all my family, but you grew up in a household where your mindset is something's better than nothing, or you better be happy with what you get. Even if you started out as a child that was very rebellious against that, life's and shit starts to feel like maybe what you were taught was the truth. So I was a young single mom. I got this job at a law firm. Their claim was all you have is an internship under your belt, so we have to pay you, very low amounts. And then I worked myself all the way up to office manager. And I basically had like the associate attorneys under me. I had legal staff under me. So I had like a legal secretary, a legal intern. So I had people under me. And I was making like $18 an hour, which is shit. Even for back then, it was shit. Um, and there was this mentality that, like, I had an understanding with the boss, right? Where I felt like, well, she gets me, she understands, like, I'm a single mom, like, I don't want to leave because of those things. And then I hired somebody to be the legal secretary who had like 15 years of legal secretary experience. And at that moment, she required to be paid her worth. And my boss paid it. And I thought that shit was wild because I'm her boss. But I was so stuck in the mentality of she has more years under her belt that I really convinced myself that it was okay that I was paid less. And then I told the legal secretary that I was paid less than her. And I think that that was like the first time there was a crack in that foundation for me, because she looked at me and was like, this law firm could literally not run without you. She has no idea what's going on in her law firm. You do everything. You do everything for the attorneys. You do everything for the staff. You pay all of the bills. You take care of everything. There's nothing other than the little bit of stuff the accountant does when he comes in that you don't do. She was like, and you only make $18 an hour. And it was crazy. It was crazy to me that that foundation, that small crack in the foundation was like, oh, you're right. You're right. You're right. And then that same wonderful employee said to me, I didn't take the insurance. So, she also pays my insurance stipend because I opted out. So then you need to pay me what you would have paid the insurance company. And I didn't even know that was a thing because, again, I may have been in the world, but I was really young. I was like I'd say late 20s. And I remembered in that moment, that boss came to me and was like, "Hey, I know you had cancer before, so I can't put you on the insurance because it'll make it too much for everybody else here. We won't be able to pay for it. I hope that's okay." And I kind of felt robbed because I had told her that story in confidence. I had told her that story like me and her sidebarring at a lunch together. It wasn't It wasn't like I was disclosing, something about my health. And then I realized that this girl was getting paid for not having insurance, and I was just asked to not apply for the insurance that I was entitled to with zero compensation. And again, I'm running an entire law firm making $18 an hour, struggling. This woman knows I have 4 kids. She would tell the clients things like, you can ask her anything you want. She is the equivalent of an associate's attorney. She has all of the knowledge and the gifts. She can do anything. Like, you can ask her anything that you would ask me, and for the most part, she's going to be able to answer the question or find the answer. So when I came to her and said, I need a raise, she said, oh, I haven't even been paying myself. We've had a really bad year. And I knew that. I did. But I also knew that the associate attorneys were getting paid. And I also knew that she had her business is not here or there. But the point is, the associate attorneys, who I was working harder than at the moment, were getting paid more than I was. I ended up leaving that job. And when I put in my 2 weeks notice, she cried, boo-hooed in her office. And she said to me, I just never thought you would leave me. I thought you'd always be here. And then when I retired, I would just ask one of my friends to hire you. It's a very indentured servitude mentality. But I want to talk about how that one crack in foundation didn't mean that I leapt into making 6 figures and taking a self-worth. It was essentially like a breadcrumb to the life. That employee left to a job that paid more and asked me to come work with her. So do you see, she saw value in me, and I followed her, right? Because she believed in me, and at the moment I needed that. And I'd like to say, my spiritual practices, the clients that I work with, that's kind of where, or how the design of my programs when I work with them, how that functions, right? You start with feeling really good with being validated by me, and then you trust that I see something in you, and then in turn, I teach you to trust yourself and to see value in yourself. And then I fly you out the nest. So I eventually left the position that I was in with that girl, and I had to bump around a little bit and figure out how to trust myself and see my worth, and then advocate for that. And advocating for that doesn't mean arguing to get paid more or arguing to be treated well. It means walking away from positions that don't want to pay you, that don't see value in you, or they see value in you, but they like that you don't see value in you. So this post really is just about me telling you that if you haven't gotten to a place where you can comfortably walk in and request your 6 figures, or you can be in a relationship with somebody or a friendship with somebody without degrading yourself, I want you to know it's a process, right? And as long as you're on the journey and doing the process, you're doing great work. Okay? I love you.